Reality recap.
Hi, Evelyn. Yes, I know you have the reunion. Yes, we have 2 more episodes. And then we have the reunion, of course.
I look like the slut. I look like a mom. She was like, you the one that look like you got a high body count hair. I fell the fuck out, y'all.
Candace, has Deborah reached out to you to apologize after the episode aired showing Chris did not flirt with her?
She wouldn't dare. She would get eaten for breakfast.
Oh boy.
No, she's doubling down.
Why would you go meet with Ray J without talking to Princess or letting her know why? Like, she's trying to justify that she told her after the fact and not supposed to make
What
it.
do you think of your ex-husband Jim coming out and saying you did not try to stop him from suing Shannon and Tamara?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, if his memory is a little foggy about what transpired back then, that's okay. However, he did admit that I had nothing to do with the...
Reality recap. Reality recap.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another live Tea Talk session, guys. I'm back. I survived spring break. I survived 11 straight days with 2 toddlers on vacation. I did it. I did it, y'all. But boy, have I missed y'all. I really tried. Listen, let's be clear. I am caught up on everything. I watched everything at night while on my vacation. While the kids were sleeping, I was on my iPad watching everything. So I did not miss a beat. I really tried to do like 10-minute or less recaps for y'all on every show and put them on my YouTube. But the Wi-Fi would not let me be great, y'all. It was not allowing me to be great. I really, really tried. Like, I had so many cute bathing suits I did my recaps in for y'all. And I still couldn't even get them loaded when I got back. I was only able to get one loaded, Love and Hip Hop Miami. But I have missed you guys. And I am so happy to be back. Hi, Lily. Thank you for checking in on YouTube. I see you guys coming in on Instagram. But we have a special tea talk today. I'm so happy to have Mani is here. I see her. She's in the building. We're going to add her on. Mani has her podcast called The Mix with Mani. You can find her on social media, Mixing with Mani. She is a lover of Bravo, reality TV. She has 900,000 plus downloads on her podcast. Just reading her bio, guys, she is a proud Black educator. We love to see it. And I'm so happy to have her on that we could connect. So let's bring her up on here. Let me see how we can make this all look great for you guys. Hi, Mani.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so special. This is lit.
No, thank you for joining me. The pleasure is all mine. I'm so happy to have you on just for my first return. I haven't done a podcast live in like over a week when I usually do 4 or 5 a week. So I am so happy to have you and be back with my good people. This is a good day. I'm so happy.
Yes, congratulations on surviving spring break. Like I said, I was an educator, so it's working with the youngins. We love spring break because we're like, please go off and have fun. But the parents always come back like, please take our kids.
You know what? This was my first one because they were in daycare before, and it was, daycare is nonstop. Like, they don't have a spring break or anything like that. They get like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and that's about it. But and, the major holidays were only like one day. So this was my first actual spring break. And I had one turned 4 right before spring break. So I was in birthday mode, and she had a party in class and all of that. And then we left for spring break. So it has been the last 2 weeks have been crazy, but we really had a great time on vacation. I swore I would never do another cruise again in my life. I did a cruise for my 25th birthday. Yes, 15 years ago. And it was horrible. And I said I would never do it again until my oldest daughter, who's 5, she said, "Mommy, I really want to do a cruise. I really want to go on a boat." And she sucked me in. But I have to say, so worth it. Best experience. They had the best time. I did
Thank
as
goodness.
well. And it has changed my mind about cruising.
Good.
Now
Leave it
that's
to
all
the
I want to do.
children.
Yeah.
Let the children lead. That's it.
I got to see everything through their eyes. This was their first time leaving the country and using their little passports, and they were just so excited. It was the best.
Oh my God, that's actually so sweet. That's so wild. Oh my goodness. I love that. Happy spring break to those children.
Thank you. What did you do with your spring break? Since you're in education, you got a spring break too, right? What did you end up doing?
Yes. I caught up on my shows. I rested. It went by so fast. I slept. It took 3 days minimum to sleep past 7 a.m.
Wow.
Like that, it was not easy, but I got there. I was committed to the task, so
Yeah. They
and
were
it was
up.
very nice. Yeah,
They are up 7 a.m. on the weekends. Like I was
yeah.
They did sleep a little later. We got a little 8:30, 9
Okay.
o'clock in because
Oh,
they were going to
cute.
sleep later. So I don't know if that balances out, but they were going to sleep like 8:30, 9 o'clock, which is not what we do on a normal weekday.
Yeah.
So it balanced out. We got to sleep a little later, but they had a ball and I did as well. It was fun times.
Yes, I just pretty much caught up on shows. I loved binging, especially getting into my scripted TV, the shows that I don't often get to see because, we're watching reality TV like so much. There's so many things to constantly watch and keep up with. So when I get time, I'm deep in like I binge a nice good like I love a crime. I love a true crime documentary or something.
Really?
Oh my God, I've been into some good true crime documentaries lately and I just have a nice time binging like a nice quick one of those getting into like those dramas, the what is that Garden Society show? Grosse Point Garden Society,
Okay, I heard
Beyond,
about that.
Beyond the Gates,
Love.
so good. Like just, getting into the good stuff, catching up on like Southern Hospitality, like the things that I don't get to binge as often
Okay.
were finished. So that's where I want to be. It's just I'm a tourist, so I just want to eat and watch TV on my couch in a nice throw, an air conditioned
I
room
know that's right.
with a cup of tea, little matcha, having a nice time.
That's a great day, a great week for me as well. And
Yes.
I just was able to keep up with what I already watch. Money, don't judge me, but I don't watch any like documentary. All I watch is reality TV. I don't know
And
what's
all
wrong with
that's
me.
okay. No, nothing's wrong with you. You have fine taste. That's why we're all here. Like, listen, we have fine taste. I too love to like watch trash, and so that's the whole thing. My thing is, I just love TV so much. I watch everything, and
Right.
like nothing is. I will give anything a try. So that's how I ended up in the reality TV things because I'm like, if it's good, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Like, and reality TV it really is hitting these days, really
Yes.
hard.
Yes.
I'm
So
having a
I
good
will
time.
say I do love Abbott Elementary. I watch that faithfully when
Yay.
that's on. I love Abbott and Beyond the Gates. I am hooked on Beyond the Gates. That was like, I'll be honest, last week I watched that first before I would watch whatever reality TV shows that were coming on.
Yeah.
I would watch that first. Like this week coming up, if y'all are not watching Beyond the Gates, you need to binge, you need to catch up. But this week is going to be epic. It's everything. I'm
I
so ready for
literally
this
feel like my
anniversary
nana.
party.
I feel like my nana. I'm like, I gotta go watch my stories. Hold on. Like, I gotta, I got my DVR going. I really feel like my nana. She would be so proud of me.
And they were asking in the comments, Lily from YouTube was asking, do you watch Love After Lockup?
So occasionally, like, I've gotten into it more, especially since Gypsy Rose Blanchard has made her way out of the prison and onto the reality TV circuit. Again, because I even like watch true crime. I've seen all of her things, and then when she shows up on a TLC, then I'm like, oh, I'm already here, so I'm here to watch that too. So, and that's exactly what I will do. So I will dabble in Love After Lockup. If it's good, it's good. And I love that, TLC sometimes like it challenges me a little bit. It's like a little too raw. Like and
Yeah.
Love After Lockup is definitely one of those where I'm just like my mouth is ajar the whole time. I'm just like, we are letting
Yeah.
people get away with a lot.
We are big lovers of Love After Lockup over here.
It's
My
so good.
followers, that's like my top viewed like recaps is Love After Lockup. We love the mess. We really do. So
Oh, it's an excellent binge. Like on cleaning day, I end up like starting to fold laundry, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there with the laundry next to me for 2 hours on like the fourth episode of Love After Lockup. I'm like, can you imagine? It's so good.
yeah. Yeah, we love it over here. I'm currently trying to get some of the current cast on one of my recaps, so I'm working through
Yes,
that.
please, please.
But yes, guys, we are here to discuss yesterday night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This was, let me go back to it. What did I put? Is this episode 9 that we had? Oh, episode 8 called Boots on the Ground. If anyone needs to search it, this is season 16, episode 8. Boots on the Ground was the title of the episode. So I said today's recap, we're going to call it Nashville Hold'em. That was the the name of last week's episode. But we're going to go through, of course, recap the episode. I have some questions for you, Monty, on the current
Please.
season, on the current last episode from last night. So we're going to start and go through, guys. Y'all know the chats are live. We are streaming right now across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Monty, are you streaming on any of your platforms right now too?
I am not streaming right now because my phone tweaked out when I asked it to, but I definitely told the girlies to come and watch and participate and talk to things.
Okay, well, yes, we are streaming live, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. The chats are live across all. You are more than welcome to put your thoughts on season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. We'll be popping them up, reading them, answering your questions, reading your comments, as well as if you guys have already watched last night's episode. If not, no worries. We got you as we go through it and recap it. So with this episode last night, we started out, we're still in Nashville, last day of the trip. And Cynthia sits down and talks to Angela. Y'all know Angela had a rough episode the previous, or she's having a rough time on this trip.
She's not having a good time.
Yeah, the previous episode, Portia was all over her ass because she has invited Drew on Portia's birthday trip. And Portia is not in the best place with Drew. We'll get into that. But they ate her up at the dinner table at the end of the last episode because of this invite for Drew. So, I guess Cynthia called herself checking on her, right, Monty? She's checking on her, checking, saying like, listen, why would you invite her? Like, you know that the baby daddy is sensitive, is what Cynthia said. That's a sensitive subject, and you don't start business ventures with someone's baby daddy that you're cool with without having a conversation with them. And Angela was saying how she's loyal to Drew. And Monty, I'm a little confused. Like, how deep does this 2-minute friendship go? I know they're both from Chicago, but what do you think about Angela's loyalty to Drew? Where is this coming from?
No, I'm a little confused because also it wasn't giving loyalty. I don't know what definition Angela is working from, but like we were watching it in my household, and my friend was like, "What? It feels like a setup." She said that early on, like as soon as like Angela was just telling them, "I think Drew should be here, so I think you should expect her to come." And I'm like, "What?" And so for her, it made no sense to me. I got really caught up in that logic. But she said something feels like a setup. So for then Drew to get here, she's like, "Hey, I'm here." And she's like, "Yeah, you're here to take the heat off of me." The heat off of me for what, my love? I didn't do it. Like,
Yeah. And
you invited me here. And so it just really was a little bit strange. I don't understand where, I mean, they just met, but also it's not giving good friendship. I would not bring someone on a trip that I know she wasn't invited to, or that, I mean, you can read the room. If someone's not included on a FaceTime call, it's probably because they're not meant to be on the call, and it's not on you to extend that invite.
Right. If you're missing from a whole Zoom video call, it's safe to say that they're not being invited. And
baby girl,
saying, like, is it loyalty or is it throw her to the wolves? Because you're right,
okay.
like you said, she comes and then you're like, you need to go have a conversation because I'm getting beat up for it. But we saw her tell Drew that it was okay for her to come. So I was so confused on that part when she
Not
came in and
well.
she like I'm done getting beat up for you. You need to go talk to Portia. And she's like, what? I
I
just
didn't ask you to get beat up for me either. You invited me here. What are you talking about?
that
Angela
part.
is a little. I mean, I know we'll get into the things, but I left this episode going, oh, Angela's confused.
I
She's a
don't know.
confused individual.
Everyone's saying she's a breakout star in this season. I'm
Okay.
not there yet with her yet. I'm not there. I don't know. I sometimes when I don't have the same opinion of the mass majority that come down my timeline, I'll be like, sometimes questioning what's wrong with me. But I'm not there with Angela yet. Like,
I think I'm with you. I'm like, yo, no, Portia and the girls are giving off Mean Girl. It is giving click vibe. Two things can be true. We can actually walk and chew gum at the same time. Portia and the girls are giving mean. It is giving minion. And Angela is giving a lot of WTF energy. Like, what are you doing? Some of
yeah,
these decisions are very questionable. I don't understand what she's doing.
I'm confused by her storyline from her, what's really going on with
Yeah.
Charles. I want to get to that. I
Why
do
are you
like
reporting
some
people
of
out the
her. I like
window?
some of her messiness. I'm not totally against her. I like some of her messiness, and I do feel like, at the peace brunch, she she held Brit accountable for her actions and saying like, how did we get here though? Or ask the question we all were wondering, well, how are you under investigation? Like, and I was asking that too, like, is it because of the fraud hoe poster or was it because of the peen in your mouth poster? Which one got you investigated? Like, I wanted to know too.
Right.
So I felt like her question was valid and not shady at all. And hey, D Candy, thank you for checking in on Instagram. But yeah, I didn't feel like it was a shady question or a read the room type
Yeah.
situation. But
No, I didn't start really questioning her choices until this trip. Now, I mean, it's been like, okay, like balanced, messy, but right now I'm Angela, I'm like, what? How are you moving? And for what purpose? Like, what purpose did you have to bring Drew here, like just to the slaughterhouse? It's you instead. And now it's like you're mad at Drew and the girls for being mad at you because you invited somebody here that they didn't want here. Like, of
right.
course, and yeah, they're being mean girls to you because they're mean girls. And, it's easy to activate, sure, but it was easier. You activated it by giving them this ammo. Why would you give them?
Exactly.
You validated their like exclusion and their mean girlness. You validated it too much by doing something stupid like inviting Drew someplace that she didn't want to be, doesn't belong, and isn't wanted because and but you don't want any heat for it. But you did it. That don't make no sense.
Yes. Totally agree with you, Monty. So, as we know in this episode, Drew has finally showed up at the tail end of the trip after going to court with Ralph and getting getting the brakes beat off her in court by the third
Ooh.
lawyer of Ralph, and also celebrating her potential record deal with her sister and with Dennis. She did all of that, and then she's showing up at the tail end of the trip. So she's here on these last days. And like we said, Angela is telling her, listen, you need to go talk to Portia, get the heat off of me. And Drew's looking like, but you said this was cool. You inserted yourself. So, we've recapped that so far. Now I have to ask you, Monty, outfits. What do you think about the Nashville Hold'em country cowgirl outfits? Did the girls serve for you? Did anybody serve? What are your feelings on the outfits for this for this trip?
So this trip so far has been so we're talking it's a lot of hit or miss. It's a lot of hit or miss. There are some girls who for every one where I'm like, okay, no, that's cute. There's four that I'm like, that's from Fashion Nova. And it has no place here. It's not even on the good section, it's on the clearance section. I wouldn't even like bought that. And that's saying something. If me on a teacher's salary would not have worn it, would not have purchased it. It should not be on your body. I'm looking at you, Angela Oakley. Like I was like, what is this cover up? And I don't want to hear it. Like I thought she's had a nice couple outfits. I thought Drew has had one nice outfit or one outfit that maybe I've appreciated because the other ones were not ones I appreciated. So to see her have a little bit better was nice. Um, some girls we're definitely like repping our décolletage in a way of
Mhm.
like if everybody decided to show up with their best corset and cowboy hat. Everybody is doing their absolute best to just pin that thing up, cinch that waist, stiff those babies up to the heavens. But like it just don't look like they fit all the time and it don't
Right.
look comfortable. And that's sometimes concerning. Like it takes away from the outfit when the top part of the titties is just so much. Like it's just
Yeah.
so present that it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it fits anywhere. So but I would give I think like our overall group average is like 7 out of 10.
Okay, I can go with that. And we had some comments. Toria said, Kelly served. I like the black tutu with the boots. Angela can't dress.
Yes. No, she
Drew
cannot.
had one cute outfit. Yeah,
One.
the first outfit that Drew stepped out in, it was like a short skirt. I was like, what
Yep.
is that? I was like, are we giving country sweet 16? I didn't
Who
get it.
knows?
I also had Kelly serves, but the pasty tits was a bit much
Didn't
for
like
me. I
that.
was
I
like,
actually didn't like that at all.
that's
I was
not
like, why?
country attire.
What about this is in fact, like, first of all, I'm thinking country, barbecue, like the sexiest I feel like you could go is like Daisy Dukes and like the Jessica Simpson,
Right.
that
Dukes of
whole
Hazzard.
vibe. Dukes of
Right,
Hazzard.
right, right.
The pasties were not included. It's like we supposed to we at least a tank top. At least a tank top, something. Like we cover up in Tennessee. It is Tennessee. Like what are you talking about? Like Reed, that's not fashion to me. Just pasties is not fashion.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought she served. I thought the last night when they were dancing with the brown like cow top with this high slit skirt,
Yeah,
I thought that was gorgeous. I thought her
gorgeous.
first outfit with the boobs was popping out a little bit with her little vest and the leather
Yep.
was cool. She shared her stylist with Britt. I don't know, same time she had the pasties, Britt had on the stripper fishnet pants. I was like, what are we doing here? Like,
What show is Brit on? What show is Brit on? I ask myself that question every week. I don't think Brit knows what show she's on.
and I didn't like Shamia's like aqua green dress. I think I saw Latoria say that she liked it. It gave cowgirl deaconess to me. I didn't like it. I
Shamia
didn't like
does give Deaconess After Dark. Like she does. She absolutely has like her outfits, even her confessionals are so like church lady, and then like they rip off the shoulder pads like after service. Like if she wants to let loose, the church one got like a little too
it.
buzzy, and that's what it gives. It really does give like she takes that hat off and takes off and open up that skirt, and then woo, she's having a good time on the dance floor. But like it does give Deaconess After Dark, so I can
Yes,
understand that.
I love
I
that.
question Shamia's choices this trip as
Yeah,
well. Like
yeah.
almost there, but not quite.
Yeah, I just when I look at her, I always think what Luann says, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. That's what I
Hello,
always feel.
the
I just feel
Herman
like she
Munster
has too
shoes.
much money to not be able to dress. I didn't like her Watch What
Yes.
Happens Live outfit. I didn't like she was at Kelly's brunch event and I saw her dress and I was like, very pedestrian. I just want her to just step up.
Yeah.
You have too much money for this.
Girl, I know your man is only in HVAC, so you don't feel like you need to be the chicest always or the flyest. But at the very least, let's just, let's do our best. Let's give
No,
it a
you
college
she
try.
she really needs to be the chicest. You have the most money. You
Yeah,
really
what
need
what
to.
is this? Especially if we're building a whole franchise around you.
Exactly.
We're building a whole
Blue of
franchise
Atlanta.
around you. This is not why is Kelly, out here serving better? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Not the minions.
right. And Kelly had to share her stylist. That's what I'm saying, Tori. I don't know if Britt didn't bring any clothes or not, but Kelly shared her stylist. I think that was more of a friendly gesture. Maybe she brought clothes, but the stylist may have had something better. I don't know. But I feel like that was just a friendly gesture after what she had went through on the show with Kenya. And then I think Lily also asked, do you think Mia is going to be a peach holder in the future? I saw a pic of her and Kelly and Shamia. Yeah, and that's the outfit I was just talking about, Lily, where I saw Shamia at Kelly's brunch and I did see Mia there. I necessarily don't want a crossover of I had enough of Mia on Potomac. I don't care that she's relocated, as Giselle had already told us on her reunion. But Monty, do you think that Mia's gonna make her way to a peach in Atlanta?
No, I don't. I think people have,
Yeah.
often seen that, I think Taylor Armstrong was the first, but there's almost never been a crossover of housewives. And because like the markets are in the audiences just are super different sometimes. Like they overlap enough, but they're just super different. And I think also it would have to be some perfect worlds would have to align. And Mia doesn't test well on TV.
No.
She's not super likable, but she's also like not even like a Tamra, like a necessary evil to a show that stirs the pot up enough that you would keep her or throw her somewhere else. And then you got to figure out chemistry with another group of women. It just gives volatile. I mean,
Yeah.
Atlanta's not the place that I would try to put the shenanigans that Mia pulls off. I wouldn't put them in Atlanta. I wouldn't put
Yeah.
that around Portia. If we're experiencing this mean girl behavior about Angela just like inviting an unwanted guest to a party, imagine the stuff that Mia pulls
Exactly.
being on Atlanta. It's getting catastrophic. And Britt
Yeah.
has, what's okay. Let's all just calm
Yeah.
down.
As Carlos coined her, Mia be lying. I've had enough. I'm good.
Okay.
Like I know she's moved to Georgia to be with Ink, of course, and she's
And
on
she
like
wants to
her.
be on that show.
She
Yes, she
wants
would
to.
like to be,
Yeah,
but
she
I
thinks
think she's just
herself.
auditioning with no job.
Yeah, like there's no offer on the table. I definitely, if there was, y'all know I would have let you know by now. There's no offer on the table for me. And she's just pitching herself. She's really in Georgia because of Ink, and also she's starting a new franchise venture. Y'all see my broke nail from vacation. Don't mind that. But she started a new venture, like her joint practices. Now she's doing something, a new franchise expanding called The Talks. So that is her new franchise. Yeah, I read that on her page. Officially stepped away from her role at Potomac to fully invest in her next major venture, the expansion of the Tox franchise into Georgia. Um, the Tox is a fast growing wellness and body sculpting brand known for its signature lymphatic drainage method, a technique that combines holistic practices and modern techniques to detoxify, reduce inflammation, and boost overall wellness. So she's on to her next scam. Y'all know she started. Y'all know she started with Massage Envy franchises when she was, getting her dancer where they serve steak money, and then she went into the joint practices with her guy G, with her. I don't know if they're married. That, to my opinion, my
We
knowledge,
don't know
they're
what
married.
they are. I think they
There's no
still
paperwork
are.
filed.
There's no paperwork filed, even though she said to Andy that it was happening that she left. So we never got that answer. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah. There's no
Mia be
paperwork filed.
lying, but
Y'all
for
know, yeah,
real.
y'all know I would have shared that with y'all too. There's no paperwork filed, so I'm gonna still say G's her husband. I wonder how he feels about her moving to Georgia. What's going on there?
With their
Is
children
the only
too.
thing I'm really curious about is I keep saying he's gonna show up on social media and go crazy in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, that's her new thing now. The Tox franchise. She's on to her third
Good
franchise.
luck, Mia. Okay, girl. She just really be lying to herself first and foremost. But go off, do it off away from us.
Yes, go away from me with this. So
Yeah.
that is what she is up to right now. So in the episode also, but thank you, Lily, for the question. Also in the episode, the girls split into two groups. Half of the group goes whiskey tasting, the other go do like part bartending, mixology, making drinks. And Shamia on the way, she starts crying. I, listen, I know it was a touching story. It felt very random to me, Monty. I have to be honest. It just came out of nowhere. But I know that before leaving, Shamia had, a FaceTime call. Her youngest daughter had an ear infection. Then she got on the bus to go to the activities, and she said she got a text message from someone who didn't believe her about her first marriage a few years back. She was in an abusive marriage for 1 year, and that person didn't believe her, and all of a sudden text her out of thin air and said, I apologize for not believing you. And that caused her, she said it stirred up some emotions and she started crying. Was that a little weird to you?
It felt like she wanted us to know that that was something she experienced, and she did not know if that opportunity would create itself in the future.
I totally agree, Monty. Now, I'm not taking away from it. I'm glad she's out of the situation. And they did flash back to when she was a part of Cynthia's PSA event. And I was like, oh, wow. Because we really didn't see much of that when the actual episode
Hmm.
aired. Back then, it was more about Cynthia's mom and what had happened with her and things like that.
Right.
So I was like, oh, wow, she shared this story before. But to me, I have to go with my gut. It just didn't fit in right then. I
Yeah, I
didn't.
believe that she experienced it. I also believe that she found a way to bring it up. It felt a little reminiscent of when Bronwyn was on that boat in Salt Lake City, and then just like all of a sudden her husband cheated on her
Right.
multiple times, and it was an abusive emotional relationship or something, and like he had an emotional affair. That's what it was. And we were just like, how did we get here? And like, I know, Lisa Barlow, people are, they don't love her, but like a broken clock, right? Twice a day. So she was like, he's gonna flip when he sees this, because I just sometimes realize, like, do you know what you're doing on TV? But I think Shamia had one of those moments where it was like, how do I garner that, one of those type of moments where we're on the transit thing and someone spills their story about their, like, the new person, like it comes up and they talk about their tragic experience, and it's what makes the public fall in love. And what do
Right.
you do other than say a random person texted me?
Right. And I couldn't help but think, because just at her birthday when Portia came in late and they were like, oh, Portia makes everything about her. She can't share the spotlight. And I just was saying, if that was Portia that had did that at Shamia's event, everybody would have been up in arms. I really do. I do. I ain't gonna lie, Portia's her storylines get on my nerves this season, but I just feel like if she was on the other foot at her birthday, she did something like that, it would have been up in arms. I just had
Yeah,
to
Portia and Shamia, hot take, they should not be friends.
say.
And them, I know they are not on the best of terms now. They should not
Right.
be.
Right. Yeah, I think, like Shamia said, she's a people pleaser. She just wanted
And
to make
Portia
people
likes to be
happy.
pleased.
Yes, and it definitely has seemed to be a one-sided friendship is what I'm seeing, like heavily on Shamia being supportive and there and not so much on the other side. So yeah, I just felt like it was awkwardly placed. I
Hmm.
just was like, wow, how did we get here? But again, not discounting it. I believe
No,
her story and definitely
absolutely.
glad she got out of it and speaking on it to help others. The placement was just a little off for me.
Yeah, and I wanted to be like, girl, give it time. We'll make it back there. We just will.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's always time for talking about an asshole that you were married to, and that's really sad for my girls in Atlanta. But there's
Right.
always an opportunity to talk about the asshole you were formerly married to.
Right. Definitely. Glue of Atlanta. We're gonna have a lot of camera time with you, apparently. So
Mm.
but let's see what else happened. Kelly asked about Portia's friends. So they're at the bartending, a little shindig, and Kelly asked Portia, like, your friends that came, your guests, your plus 3 4 5s that you had at our dinner the other night, are they cool with Drew? And I was so confused, Monty, because Portia's like, yeah, we're all cool. We all hang out. And I'm saying, they were at the dinner saying she sucked a lot of peen. What do you mean y'all all friends? I was so confused by this whole episode. And that was one of them where she was like, yeah, we're all cool. We all hang out. So they were asking, like, where's Drew? It didn't come off to me like that, Monty. It did.
No, and I did. This is another thing. Is like, this is why Drew should not have been here. Like, she should not be a factor of conversation, because now everybody's story is falling apart. Everything looks confusing. Listen, the storyline between Drew and Portia, this situation, both of them just feel like they're doing too much. Like, it's it feels like they're doing too much. Both Portia is, being over dramatic, and it's inconsistent with her with the rhetoric of like what's really going on and what's
Mhm.
allowed. But I also understand her being like, if this man is going to film with anybody, it should be me first. I do get that. I think how she's going about it the wrong way, but then also I feel like Drew is a lot, and she can be a lot. Like she is very messy, and she is doing some weird stuff to
Yeah.
kind of hype up this idea because it is giving a good storyline. I'm not gonna lie, I'm invested because you do want to think about like how far is she pushing the line with this person who's kind of her friend and this is her baby daddy and
Right.
yeah, oh well, you're just doing business together, but first of all, no, you're not. First, I don't want you want to entertain that idea because Dennis is not a business. This isn't his business, and
Yeah.
you're not serious. Like everybody, be
Those hot
quiet,
dogs.
girl. He sells hot dogs. You want to make a? You are in it. You want me to believe that in Atlanta, you chose Dennis McKinney to be your music producer
She said he had a great business plan, money. I don't know.
in
And
Atlanta?
then she also said that she's tried to work with big name producers and her music didn't go as far as she hoped that it goes. So she
You don't.
tried a
There's not.
different avenue.
You don't just need big name producers. There, it's just Atlanta. There are creatives of all kinds who don't do hot dogs, who still do music. Your options aren't Ludacris or Dennis. Like you have other choices. I just don't understand. Drew is just as messy to me. So like while
Yeah.
I get that Portia is like doing so much, people are annoyed with her for being mad about this for no reason. I do also think that Drew is doing this to get a rise out of Portia, and it's working.
I will say I don't know where I stand in the whole Drew, Portia, Dennis of it all. I do know one thing for sure. Nobody's going to do business with my husband, also my baby daddy, without talking to me. And they were my friend. I totally get that. I don't know
Absolutely.
why it seems like through the text messages that Drew was trying to have a conversation in person and she was trying to chase Portia down and kind of using that as her excuse. Well, I tried to talk to you when she could have just simply called, said, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on? And that would have been that. But I don't know. And then I hear Dennis' side where he's saying, listen, 2, 3, 4 months ago, she didn't care what I was doing. She was out in Nigeria eating fufu. She didn't care nothing about what music I was making and with who. But now she's on this show and she cares. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so confused here because even when Drew sat down, it seemed like to me at Shamia's birthday party, it was genuine, right? Where she said, listen, nothing, I would no way do that. That man loves you. I'm just, he had a business plan. I thought it was weird that she was calling her savior and her angel and all that other stuff.
See,
That
doing
was
too
weird.
much. Yes.
Yeah. But it was like she came genuine. And I thought, in my opinion, that would have been like the end of it. But it's
Yeah.
continuing to go on. And it's
I just feel like the question is the motive and the intention. And I guess I can understand Portia being confused by that. Because even though she was in, Africa eating things and popping bottles with this man, sure, absolutely. She didn't care what you were doing.
Right.
That and still here we are and you are doing this with my friend but like why? Like you're acting like in Atlanta there was literally nobody else.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
the
just a
album's
little
doing pretty
confusing.
good.
And it's like, okay, but now you care about me because Drew can sing and congratulations. But again, but why did she risk that? Like, why did Drew risk that? Is one of my questions. Like, what is the intention behind it? And then what is
Yeah.
Dennis's intentions? You believe in Drew? Because you never once just came and told me either, I believe in her and her music. And it was like, you know what I mean? His
Right.
response isn't, this is a bag and a check is a check. It's, you didn't care what I was doing. Why do you care now? That's a petty
You're right.
response. So
Yes.
then it feels like your intention is a little bit duplicitous. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like it's actually just because y'all, no, it sounds like y'all had a good business plan of how we can get this money together on this show. Okay, that's the good business plan is that we can film and get my music out there. If
Right.
you produce my music, you can be on the show and we can get my music out there and people will be invested in listening to it. And then they will say, well, at least it sounds good,
Right.
Dennis could do something.
Yeah.
And that is probably why Portia's like, what? If I'm going to be cooking up plots to get my product out there to the people, it should with a baby daddy, it should be me. I did the work.
Yeah.
So she just
I'm just
mad that
all
it
over
wasn't
the
her
place.
first. That's really all it is for Portia.
Yeah, I'm all over the place with that. And
Because it's a hot mess.
Yeah,
They're
and
all three of them are messy.
and Portia's saying that, oh, they conjured up Dennis and Drew conjured up the storyline. And then I look at her like, well, did you conjure this up to be mad about it? Were you mad at the beginning when they first started? Or did you get mad when the cameras went up and he filmed with her or was potentially going to? I'm
That's what
confused.
I think. I think she thought the cameras went up and she was just gonna be able to call on Dennis at any point in time and look in the call sheet and he not available or something, or he already cleared to go be over there across town with Drew. And she was like, oh no. And I think Portia don't do well with that.
Yeah.
Portia don't like being sidelined. She don't like it. We're seeing it with Shamia. We've seen it with Phaedra. She does not like being like second fiddled. Ooh, so I think that got her upset, and we've been here ever since for 8 weeks.
And then I think on top of that, in the back of my mind, I'm watching her YouTube channel where she's eating hot dogs, got Dennis in the kitchen preparing the mukbang of hot dogs, and I'm saying, yo, you're still in the house that you acquired with Simon. I know he is in ice burning up. I know. To get back to his social media and tear her ass up. I'm like,
he
girl.
is waiting for the shade room. He's like, I want to somebody get the shade room on the phone right now. He is giving all the currency he can gather in the ICE detention center to get the shade room on the phone to be like, get this message out there on the black screen.
I'm like, girl, you asking for trouble, honey.
Honey, I'm nervous. I ain't gonna hold you. I think we're asking for unwanted trouble.
Yeah, I feel like they're all in on the storyline.
All this for Dennis. What are these women doing fighting over Dennis? The bar in Atlanta has always been in hell, but
yeah,
gracious.
All you need in Atlanta, it seems like, just from watching any Atlanta reality show, all you need is that and a little bit of change. It seemed like that's what you can retire as
a tax refund will do. Like literally, it just needs to look like a stack.
Anybody that has been in music or acting and in the Black community, they just go there to retire to the groupies. Yeah, that's how it come off like.
And then some girl doing real estate finds him, or insurance. If you're, Bray, they do real estate or insurance. They find him, and then they hop on a reality show about how they want to be moguls and hustlers. And, the bar is low, really, really low. Like, we're so low. It is inexplicably low. But goddamn it, as long as they are 6 foot-ish, anywhere between 5'7" and up. And
not even, because on Love and Hip Hop Miami with Lil Zane, he's giving 5'2", 5'3".
He's still little at 30 plus years old. He's still a little.
He still need the LIL for sure.
No, not me and Lil Zane eye to eye. That's crazy.
Yes, it's just a little bit of pocket change, like you said, tax refund, whatever, some residuals from some old songs.
Andy Cohen the other day said he got a residual check for like 8 cents. That 8 cents, they're taking it to the club, live in Miami. They are going.
Yes. But also in the episode, right, we see them talking on that side. We see Shamia messing up the story of what Angela really said to her. So now Portia is on the fence of, oh, well, Angela set Drew up, but I think we already believe that as well. But then also over at the whiskey tasting, Angela is saying how she don't know why she's the one in such heat, which we've already mentioned. Like, girl, you invited someone that wasn't supposed to be invited on a trip. I don't understand what you're so confused about.
You threw yourself into it,
right?
That's why.
Yeah, like I don't know what we're so confused by that, but Britt tells Angela that she plays victim a lot, and she's asking for examples or how she doesn't feel she plays victim. But then honestly, Monty, I felt like Britt turned right around and played the victim.
Britt is not connecting dots for herself. She doesn't speak after thinking. She just kind of like does it all at once. She gave, I remember her being asked for examples and then not giving examples,
right,
talking about herself.
Right.
And something she had experienced when she was at the last, like how she was the victim the last time. And I
Right.
don't understand how that does anything other than align you with Angela's behavior of
Yeah.
playing the victim. Like,
Right.
example, it's like you were acting the same way I was when I like
We were matching energy.
right. So
So yeah, she starts to explain how like at the peace brunch she didn't feel the support, and they were honest with her saying that she came in and it felt like she felt entitled to them pretty much at her feet of, we're so sorry this happened to you. I'm gonna be honest, I felt like at the peace brunch Britt came in, the girls were being supportive. As soon as she heard they had spoke to Kenya, her energy shift and she got mad with them for even speaking with Kenya when some of these girls have been friends with Kenya for a very long time. You know, like Drew, i.e., they've been friends for years. We saw them start off the episodes of this season hanging out with each other. So it felt like she instantly got mad at them without even allowing them to speak to it or support her. She instantly became defensive. I really felt like that. And it just, even in this episode, when she was talking about it, she, Cynthia jumped in, which I
mhm.
was like, are you Kenya's friend or not? Are you just
What
trying to
is
save
it?
your job? Like,
Okay.
because she was like, if y'all was up on there, y'all gonna give her some grace. And I was like, cool, great point. Great point. But are you the one that should be making that longtime friend of Kenya? Like, I don't know.
It's like, okay.
I just don't know. I didn't. But let's see what they said. Toria said, I don't care for Angela, but in Angela defense, I think she wanted to say this isn't Portia's trip. She didn't pay for anything. So you think
Yes. No,
Bravo
okay,
paid
so
for it?
well,
And that's
Angela
why?
definitely played this the way Ramona did in New York many, many seasons ago. So we know it's a cash trip. It's a cash trip, and that's fine. But because Ramona, I love when Ramona was like, everybody's thinking Bethany. It's not Bethany's trip. It's a cast trip. It's a group trip. And she's like making this point to be like, everybody's saying Bethany, Bethany. Why are you saying thank you, Bethany? And what she meant to say was, we all have to be here. Like, we have to be here anyway. I think the thing is, it would have been interesting. It just feels like if Angela was supposed to be the vehicle to get Drew there, it's then not fair for her to turn around and look at Drew and be like, you need to come and take this heat off of me for getting you here.
Yes.
That's not, if anything, you should have been doing more of the work to talk to Portia or the girls and be like, everyone should be here. How are
Right.
we going to move forward with someone who says you're a friend and not, or at least been like, I'm bringing her. She didn't tell anybody either.
Right.
And so, until it was happening. And the way she presented it was like on a shit tray. She didn't like say, I think she just sat down as soon as she got there and said, I think Drew should be here. And they're like, oh, okay. Wow, that came out of
I mean,
nowhere. And then she was like, and they were like, oh, so do you think she'll come? Like, I think you should anticipate seeing her. I said, no, why should I do that? Like, what? It just felt a little bit like intense. Like,
yeah.
instead of we know that none of these girls pay for anything. Like, they
Right.
are not doing it, but someone is tasked with hosting it. So, and it's for Portia's birthday. So this is just like when Mia hosted that birthday party for Wendy at her friend's house, but at her
Mhm.
house, but with all her friends. Like, you're entitled to invite who you want to your
Mhm.
birthday thing. But if Wendy had invited someone that Mia didn't like, I would probably have the same exact opinion. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not your birthday.
I just felt like with Angela, like if you're going to pick up and be the messy one or be the villain in this episode and invite someone that's not welcome on the trip, then stand in that. Like she
You
said,
got to
she stood
commit.
on business, but she really, really didn't. Just be like,
She
look,
did it.
I felt like she needed to be here, or I wanted her here, so I invited her. Don't give these excuses of, well, I thought she just missed the Zoom call. Like, no, sis, if
Girl.
you needed clarity, you should have asked on a Zoom call. But I just felt like she didn't, and like you said, she just kind of left Drew out there to be like, I got you here, or you're here now, figure it out. So
Right. But Drew wasn't even hip to how she got her here. That she was walking into that. So it just felt like a setup all around. And like Portia's like, no, wait a minute.
They
Give
said
me at
you mock
least.
Angela well.
Thank you. It's like Portia's just like, give me at least a day before I go full mean girl. You didn't even give me 10 minutes. I couldn't even eat first before I
Right.
put the click back on.
Yes. But yeah, so Britt and Angela somewhat sort out their differences. She apologizes to Britt
Sure.
for, her not recognizing how she felt in the moment, even though she's saying, like, listen, I didn't mean any malicious intent by asking you those questions. I really wanted to know, which, by the way, I told you guys, I put up the record in, I think, my last recap, where one of my loyal followers sent me like her insurance record, and I didn't see where there was any investigation opened or done or closed. The last that I had saw was like back in like 2022. She stopped selling anything related to Allstate insurance. That's all I saw. So I don't know if that would show up on the record, to be honest, or not, but I did not find anything of sorts of an investigation. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
And that's all there is to say.
Yeah, there you have it. And then the ladies, they come back. Everybody's lit. Mind you, keep this in mind. Everyone has had whiskey and shots. They are ready for the cowboy dinner, which, by the way, I was like, what the hell is a cowboy dinner? I was like, are they eating food that cowboys like? But we had some nice, young, handsome men there serving the
There it
women in
is.
their cowboy attire. And I said, damn it, sign me up for Nashville.
Good
I
job,
want to go.
ladies. That sounds like a nice time.
Nashville is on my bucket list. So I was
Okay.
like, sign me up. So they get ready for, it was giving Cowboy Bolo vibes, is how I was feeling.
Okay, yeah, got you.
And I literally wrote that in my notes. I want to go to Nashville. I really did. But Angela and Britt, they tell everyone at the table that they made up, and they asked, the background of it, and Angela's saying, well, I don't really remember how I played the victim. And Britt's like, okay, so you took nothing from the conversation, pretty much. Like,
yeah, she just recapped what she remembered you said, but she didn't hear that part.
Right. And then she talks about it as far as she's saying, listen, I feel like I'm the only one being held accountable here. And then she throws Kelly under the bus, saying, like, well, okay, no one's holding Kelly accountable for at Shamia's birthday, asking if Portia took that girl husband, and we never got the answer to that. And I was like, how did we get here? I told you I was so confused by this episode.
This is what I'm talking about. By the end of it, I just went, Angela's confused. Like, she's doing a lot. And that's what is it's overshadowing the mean girl behavior and like any other sense that she could be making with Drew being there or Portia being there or anything else, because this just didn't make sense. The jump was so severe. Like, like we just weren't there. Like, topic. It just felt just as out of place as when she asked Britt for an example of her being a victimina, and Britt started talking about herself from 3 times ago, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. So that's literally what it was. So for her to just be like, she was taking a dig. She wanted to get Kelly in there and Portia in there. She was like, and everybody should be held accountable. I'm being asked to be held accountable. You're being asked to be held. No, we're actually not even being asked to be held accountable, because we know what you did. You know what you did. You just admitted it by saying you should expect her to come as soon as you sat down. You're not being held accountable. We're just expressing disinterest with you doing that. We don't like that you did that. Yeah. And so it's just a little strange to use that as a vehicle to then like further really dig into it more and be like, and you should answer for whether or not you stole that lady husband.
Right.
Like,
and Kelly,
what?
like, I already got my answer. Like, I'm good.
I'm good. Don't bring me back in it.
Got nothing to do with one. Don't put me in it. Now, she's giving that why am I in it energy. Okay. And mind you guys, Portia is at the table fuming. She had on this pretty like cream outfit with a
Her
cowboy
hair
hat.
looks so
And then
good.
it so does. I was like, I gotta get me some go naked hair.
I'm
I
about to say,
started
Portia
to
is her own best salesperson, her own best billboard. Her hair be, it looks good.
every
She's doing
time
it.
she eats
Yeah.
down, every time. And she had on this cute outfit. She came downstairs, y'all, in all black. So, like she changed her outfit. Her mood was different because we found out she got a call before coming down to the dinner, where she found out that Dennis, after she threatened him in the Rolls Royce, that he still went ahead and filmed behind her back with Drew. So she is
Yep.
fuming at the table, but taking, I would say for me, Monty, a disappointing route, because I wanted her to come down, and if she was mad about it, talk about it, read them down. And she really just sat there quiet. And I'm not used to that, I guess.
Yeah,
And
she
I
shut
totally,
down.
yeah, she shut down. And I get she's going through a divorce. She didn't expect to start this season going through what she's going through. So she says she gave them grace, but we have Angela sitting here asking her to answer this question, and she's like, Angela can kiss my ass. And then you have Drew, who jumps in and says,
Mm-hmm.
like, well, do you want me here? And I was like, Drew, don't ask that question because you already
You
know
asked
the
that
answer.
question. Do you want that? Do you want the answer? You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. And she's like, you straight. I wouldn't even have asked the
Hilarious.
question. And now Drew is getting up and she's like, oh, I'm leaving. She had told Portia, like, oh, I got you
Okay.
whiskey. I didn't come empty handed, but now I'm going to leave. You guys enjoy your night. And she's walking off. I don't know if she expected Portia to chase her down, but that
Bye.
wasn't happening.
And
It
I
wasn't
said bye
happening.
as well. I think Portia just wasn't expecting to have to show up, I mean, to clock in to this conversation, like this route
Right.
specifically, this way, this soon, like, or on
Right.
this trip. So she
Yeah.
was annoyed that it went this way, and that this was what she was gonna have to do. Like she couldn't just have like a, girls. And she said, I wanted to be here with the girls. She got annoyed that she had to do, like, she had to do the housewife thing. Like that's the
Yeah.
gig. Sometimes is like it doesn't go your party doesn't go your way. But she's like, but if you're gonna ask me if I want you here, the answer is not gonna be yes. I'm not
Right.
gonna be fake about it. It was just wild to me that then like the next day Angela acting like she's like, I'm not gonna be fake. You guys
Yeah.
don't. Girl, you did this. Like
Right.
Portia just stopped engaging. She genuinely
Yeah.
just disengaged. It was just like whatever. It's
Right.
fine.
And
It just is
Toria
what it
has
is.
a great point in the comments too. She's saying like Angela needs to stop speaking for the world. You're absolutely right, because I'm tired of her saying the
Yes.
world wants to know. Now I'm good off that. I watched her special. I'm good off of that. I don't have
Also,
no
don't
question.
speak for us. You're the only one who then has to answer for it, not me.
Please don't put me in it. Don't speak for me. I'm good.
Great point.
Exactly. Totally agree. But Portia walked away from the dinner just feeling like, she said, listen, I had not been rude to her, although I didn't want her on this trip. I did not exclude her. I did not give her any mean girl energy. And I guess that's what I was looking for her to do at the dinner table. But I get what you're saying, Monty. That makes perfect sense. And she, like, she walks off. Her and Cynthia, Portia and Cynthia, they have a conversation, which I thought was really genuine. I said, look at these two who came from kicking each other in the stomach on a boat to now,
LOL.
now having this like bonding conversation and her being supportive. And you could really see like Portia needed that hug. Like, I think we kind of, and I think Cynthia said it, like we just think Portia's always upbeat when she gets through adversity. She's been through so much, and then she's just gonna move through it. And I thought that was a great conversation. I just wanted to note that. I thought it was a great conversation.
Yeah,
But
no, same.
yeah, but now we move into the end of the episode, and then we'll wrap up. But end of the episode, the girls, wild night, camera go down. That's why I said it was giving cowboy bolo energy. You know, when the cameras
Which
go
got
down,
Portia
folks, they
messed
get
up
wild.
last time. Yeah, that got Portia in trouble last time. But I'm here for it. Go off. Let's go.
Yes. So cameras go down. Angela is in her room talking to Charles. So she says at 2:30 in the morning, she's recording the girls' conversation. They're talking about her. And we heard some of it, but the girls were saying like, the same shit I've been telling y'all. I keep hearing out in these streets that Charles is for everybody. He's for the streets. He, be out with a lot of women. This side baby conversation that comes up, and that Portia said that if Angela is not careful, she's gonna sleep with Charles. And Portia said she didn't say it, but then Kelly and everybody else told that she did say it. But I
She
caught
said it. She absolutely probably said it, and said it
it.
like probably. She said it like hyperbolically, but like in a petty, shady way. But you still said it, and that's
Right.
enough.
And I caught when she was asked by the producers in her confession, she said, she didn't say anything, guys. She said, I didn't say anything. Like she said, she's insinuating that the Hennessy made her not remember, or that she didn't really know if she said it or not. And she doubled down
Cute.
on that on Watch What Happens Live. Cause I caught that. And when I put the clip up, somebody in the comments said, did she say anything? I said, yes, she did. And she doubled down on that on Watch What Happens Live. So Angela is pissed. She leaves the trip. She don't even want to say bye to Kelly. Kelly ain't even said nothing. But yeah, she leaves the trip feeling like everybody is Portia's puppet, and they played with her for the last time. So I guess she is about to step up her messy. So what do you feel about Angela recording though, Monty? Because that was a big thing in Salt Lake City with
I'm about to say that was a little weird. I didn't feel like that was going to go over well with the girls. Portia has a really big problem also, which is understandable to me. I think that the housewives seem to have some understanding and code of like, amongst each other, of like when the cameras go down, they protect each other, like when they're on these things, like for their own sanity, to be real people and not to be specimen, right? Portia had a real big issue with Kenya doing this kind of thing and recording or like relaying information that she heard when cameras and stuff went down after they all explicitly covered the cameras. Everybody left. Like it gives like it breaches a level of trust.
Right.
And like I think that it breeds like it's just like a be careful type of thing, because you doing that to Portia, someone could then do that to you. It just opens up a can of worms of like everything is like fair game all the time, and this is not Big Brother for a reason. If we did Big Brother with Housewives only, we'd be in trouble. Like we really would. So I think that if you've heard them, then you should have, make it a he said she said thing. And we could barely hear from the audio anyway. So doing this did nothing but just worsen the trust between, it furthered the divide, and that they can't even be themselves around you, and you didn't even confront them. And she did it kind of sneakily.
Yeah.
Get your housewives on and yell out the window. I can hear y'all.
Hello. So go down there.
And I'm on IG Live. How about that? Okay.
Let
us do it.
It definitely, you have to be on as a housewife or in reality TV. You're clocked in until the cameras go down, and then you're expecting to have, like you said, this level of understanding. And once that break, I don't know if I would ever trust you again. I really wouldn't. So I totally get it. And Toria said, my question is, do Angela think her husband will sleep with Portia? The way she bringing it up is if she think her husband would. And Toria, yes. I think so. I think
she thinks that, and I think Charles thinks that.
I told y'all, I don't even think that Charles like Angela the way he talks to her. I really don't.
He could give two fucks about that family of hers. I know that. And that's crazy. That is not a man who is intimately, emotionally invested in his marriage.
It's totally agree. And I can't wait to get to the bottom of it, because she allegedly cleared up this side baby Wendy Williams conversation, and it still left me, because she's saying that they were separated, so she leaves the door open for there to not be a side baby per se because they were separated. But then when asked the question, she said no, they weren't separated. So it's not making much sense. So I'm curious to see more of their dynamic and what's really going on there. She said it would play out on the show.
She seems really concerned with how she's perceived. Like there's two different, she wants to be honest and true to herself, like to her story, but also is so worried about how she's going to be perceived in a specific way. Like she's aiming for a specific outcome of how people perceive her, that she can't always be true to the story. Like it's a little like she waffles back and forth. I worry about her being on reality TV.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told she came when I posted like my theory of, well, if this happened or the child that was shown came up on this time or was born at this time, like it's around the time that they had just got married. And she came up in my comments like, oh, you need to do your simple research and like I was like, oh, okay.
All
And
I
she
need
was
to know.
exactly, basically. So I said, prove me wrong. I'm seated and we'll be watching. So let
Boom.
the games begin.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Wasn't the best of episodes. It was cool, but I'm seated for Real Housewives, Atlanta. I'm enjoying the season overall. I just want to see where it goes. I think I'm watching more to see what's the end game here, what's gonna happen. But how are you overall? Are you enjoying the season? You are.
I'm still kind of worried about what the outcome will look like. Without Kenya,
Yes, well.
regardless of her, where you fall on what should have happened or what the outcome should have been of that situation. I'm worried about the season because
Mhm.
of I like that there's a certain level of cohesion that you like to see, and that these women are so new and different, and we're built around something so different that I don't know how they even like fight. Like I don't really know. Like I have nothing that I'm invested in
Right.
yet because I don't know
Same.
them. Like I don't have a anything other than like that I can really root for outside of their actions, and that is not something you want solely for the audience to base you on when you're a housewife.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get to know them while also like trying to stay interested is in the kind of drama they can create is a little bit interesting, but I am interested. Like I'm not bored. So
Mhm.
that's typically that's where my bar is. As long as I'm not bored, I'll give it. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
And I want to see Phaedra, see how that plays out, and that
We
is
still have like 4
probably
more weeks before we get her.
exactly. So I'm just like, we have a long way to go. I'm just so curious, like what they have,
Yeah.
especially since they stopped. You know what I mean? Like, what is the story? Like, what is the season gonna look like? What is the framework, or where are we headed? Like,
Right.
what's our destination, or are we just gonna keep going until we're done, until we're
Yeah.
just out of episodes?
I agree with you. Everyone, like, I'm not super invested in anyone. I'm kind of disappointed in Portia's return. I think the only thing I'm invested in right now is what's in Drew and Ralph's divorce paperwork.
I want to know. I'm actually really invested in that and her
Yeah.
dissolving that marriage. As much
Yeah.
as I think Drew is a lot and a little bit extra, I want her so far away from this man, and I want her to have a victory. And I was
Yeah.
very nervous by the size of his lawyer's Birkin that she's out for blood. She's not interested in mediating shit. She don't
At
care
all.
about them
At
children.
all.
She
She
don't
said
care
the
about them
money
kids
grab.
having no. Yeah, okay. And the fact that Ralph is pleased scared me. I said, "Oh no, the chaos has been met." Like,
Yes. So I'm gonna
oh
be hooking
no.
up with attorney Simone Redwine. I connected with her because I said, listen, I have one of my loyal followers again, went to dig in. We ordered the paperwork. It takes a few days to come back. So I'm trying to see what's in these documents that she didn't want unsealed because I have a feeling that there's things on that's not favorable to her as well, not just Rao. But I want to know, so I'm going to break it down with attorney Simone Redwine. We're going to connect and try to give you
Yes.
guys a deeper look into these unsealed documents. So hang on for that for sure. But yeah, that's all I'm really invested in. But like you said, the story's still developing. I am interested. I'm
Yeah,
just not invested in much of the show as of yet. So that's
exactly.
that's where you have it. I
But
think
I'm
my
gonna watch it.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Ain't nothing else on Sundays for me, but
Okay,
I'm gonna
listen, I'm
watch.
gonna do it. I'm gonna watch it. So
Are you watching Love Hotel?
I just started it today. That's actually what I'm gonna go back to watching. I just started it, and I'm of course those are I'm invested in how in observing the social dynamics of each of those women dating someone.
Yeah, I
Very
will
much
say
so.
I've started it twice, and I struggled for it to keep my interest, but I want to get further into it. I think I'm more interested in if anybody starts to like the same guy and how,
That would be amazing.
yeah.
Anybody that Luann can't like, you can't like anybody Luann likes. You can't even like anyone Luann is near. Like
Exactly.
I can't wait. I really hope so. Her and Giselle sharing a man would be exactly what I
Hilarious.
need. That's what I would like.
So yeah, same thing there.
Bravo
Like
gods, please, or
story's
Peacock
still
gods, please.
developing. Yeah, story's still developing there, but I'm trying to get into Love Hotel. I'm gonna finish it. I started it last
Hmm.
night. I'm gonna tell you, I started it last night, and then I went into Drewski's Could Have Been Love reunion. It came on live last night. I don't know if you watched that on YouTube. Drew, it's hilarious. His little dating show reunion came on, and I stopped, and then I tried again early this morning before I started working. I was like, I gotta come back to it, but I'm definitely gonna finish it tonight. But Monty, thank you for joining me. This has
Oh
been
my God. Thank you for
fun.
having me. We had a time. Thank you so much. This
Yes,
was
yes, I
so
could
good.
talk to you for hours, girl.
No, for
But
real. We
but
can, we're
tell
more, I have
everyone.
more to say about, we have more to talk about than the show that actually happened.
We like recap the whole season.
Okay. Like,
But tell everyone, where can they listen to your podcast? Where can they find you on your social medias? Make sure you send me all of that so I can
yeah,
link that for everyone. But tell them where they can find you, Monty.
absolutely. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, and yeah, no, that's pretty much it for the socials. And Patreon at Mixing with Mani, MixingWithMani. And my podcast is anywhere you were listening to this one. You can listen to me as well. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, all of those things. And yeah, I just started getting into recapping the Valley. We're gonna go on that journey. Lots to
Of
say
the
there.
Valley.
Okay, it's a hot
We
mess.
are
I love
so back.
watching.
I
I
love
love
the
it's so
Valley.
good. Like it's such a good time right now for TV. So I'm all in on that. But I was so excited to come and talk to you about this Atlanta situation and get back into it. Like post spring break, this was at least a nice like wet our whistle
Yes,
episode.
yes, yes. This was a good coming back podcast for me. I
Right.
appreciate it so much. So, Mani, thank you again. Guys, make sure you follow her Mixing with Mani on Instagram, on Threads. She is one of the best in the game. I came across Mani through We Go podcast with Taria. I love
Love
Taria as well.
Taria.
That's how I
Yes.
first connected and found you. So, and I love her so much. I said, if you're
She's
a
the
friend of
best.
hers, you are a friend of mine. So thank
Yes,
you
she's
for
the
coming on.
best.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't
No
wait. You're gonna be on
problem.
my show soon. Like
Yes,
it's gonna be
yes.
lit,
I can't
y'all.
wait. It's on the
We can
calendar.
actually keep going and keep talking about it, and hopefully they give us something else to work with.
Yes. We'll see what's coming up in these episodes. But guys, I will be
Okay.
back tomorrow recapping tonight's season finale of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I gave you guys a sneak peek of the finale earlier today, so make sure you check that out. Y'all know it's going to be a good time with that live. So make sure you watch the episode, and I'll give you guys episode highlights in the morning as usual. But we are going to get out of here and let Mani get ready for her day tomorrow. I know she getting back into the after spring break groove. So am I.
Okay.
But y'all have a great night. As I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. It is your girl V with Reality Recap and Mani with Mixing with Mani. Again, make sure you check out her podcast and follow her on social medias. And thank you everyone for checking in the comments. Toria, Lily, Prime on Prim on Instagram. All of you guys, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great night. Peace.
Bye.